All right, part 3, Hua. So anyway, we was talking about Mournblade. And you can hear Hades in the background. Sounds pretty thrashy, huh? Anyway, so myself and Rick and Todd started practicing. A lot of studio times, 3 hours on a Friday, 3 hours on a Saturday, that we're going to do some shows. So we're just sitting there cranking out. There you go. So by this time that Open Grave Records released a sampler, or what is called the Volume 1 sampler, and a set appeared on it. So I'm like, this is great. It was inside of a couple magazines, including Bass magazines. It had Mournblade and the album release, which was really cool. But unfortunately, as we practiced to do a couple of shows, Open Grave Records dumped us. After about 3 months, they dumped us. I'm like, what happened? They said, you guys are not doing gigs and your album is not selling. Even though you made 1,000 of them and you sent them all out. So I had to break the news to the guys that Open Grave Records dumped us. And they said the album was not selling. It's only been 3 months, dude. You know, on their friggin' website. This is 2006. Anyway, so I was like, what the hell is this crap? So I was pretty bent out of shape about the whole damn thing. I was like, you gotta be friggin' kidding me, man. So I was pretty bummed out. We managed to do a show, a place called the Airliner Club. And it was pretty cool. We were loud. The band kind of sort of sounded tight. I'm sitting here doing the power trio thing. And then the music you hear is called Burning Force from the 1917 CD. So then, to make things worse, I got notified to be deployed again. So I said, while I'm on deployment, and we were supposed to do a show that weekend. We was actually supposed to do a show at a place called the Palomino. Mournblade was supposed to be there playing with some other bands. I forgot what they were called. I got the flyer somewhere. And I had to cancel. Following day, I had to get my shit together to go get on an airplane and go over to Camp Shelby, Mississippi, and go start my train up to go fight in Iraq. But the guys promised me that they're going to continue to practice and play. So we tried to get Danny to come back in to be the bass player, but he's too busy wanting to screw with this Filipino girl, which he later married and had a daughter with. And, you know, that's great, Danny. But unfortunately, you missed a pretty big opportunity. So anyway, I went over to fight in Iraq, and I came back and in 2008. But before I did that, we went into the studio and started writing material that later became the 1917 EP. I wrote a song called 1917, all about the First World War, and then Burning Force, which you hear now. Burning Force, I got the lyrics from, well, I didn't get the lyrics, but it was, the origins of the song goes back to the movie Firestarter. You guys remember the Stephen King film. And instead of calling it Firestarter, I called it Burning Force. So we started designing, and I managed to pay a guy, a graphic designer, to come up with the Mournblade symbol finally. And I shopped around as we went into the studio and recorded these 3 tracks. Again, for $500 per track. And we got picked up by VD Records out here in we'll distribute, we'll distribute them. You got to pay for them. It's going to cost you $900. We're going to make 300 limited series copies. We have limited copies. I said, all right, no problem. So we designed the album cover and symbolized it. Sent it out to VD Records, which became the 1917 EP. Yeah, it's in reverse because of the damn camera. But if you can hear it, this CD really kicks some major ass. We got pretty much Todd motivated, sitting there doing double bass, doing some punk rock stuff. And these tracks were great. We even have Rick finally put a guitar solo in there. 2 guitar solos showed up in 1917 and Metal Storm. Metal Storm turned out to be an instrumental that those 2 guys made up. So we went in, we did guitars, bass, vocals, which later became BD Records' 1917 EP. Made 300 copies and they all sold out. I only got 1 copy of it myself, only 1. Sold 300 copies. I was like, this is fucking great. Then it showed up on the BD Records sampler, which they gave out to all the record studios. Bands like Vinyl and Silent Syndicate also is on these EP samplers. And this is I believe this is the 2000 what sampler? 2008. This is the 2008 sampler that Hades later showed up on. And then, while I was away, he did the BD Records Volume 1 and Volume 2. And Mournblade appeared on Volume 1 and Volume 2. Volume 1, though, unfortunately, the song that they used in there was Set from Open Grave Records. This is the Volume 1. I got a copy of Volume 2 somewhere, but I don't know where it's at. But this is the Volume 1 that Mournblade appeared on for BD Records. So, the 1917, I mean, wow. I mean, we're talking about kicking some major ass. And it was very, very popular. Despite you guys hating my guts, this was a very popular EP. Very popular. And when we played it live, people went bananas over the Burning Forest. It was like a slam pit thing going on. Anyway, so there you go. There you have it. The demo, the original demo, which was never released, but we made a demo of it. We was supposed to release it by putting some drum tracks to it, but it didn't happen. Then came the Mangled Lies. And then came 1917, all the BD Records samplers, the Open Grave Records samplers. Then I went off overseas to go fight in the Iraq War. And when I came back, by this time Todd joined another band called Another Sky. And then with the money I had from this, I was going to record one more EP.